All gas, no break. Welcome to the show. Just Chris and Mo on this one. Justin is somewhere in a cabin upstate New York, probably probably doing some Aaron Rodgers type activities, whatever that may entail. We wish him well. The New York Jets are a dynasty because who else has not one, not two, but three athletic hit pieces in the same
I love it.
calendar year?
I love it so much.
Only us. Only us. The latest reports coming from the Athletic are that Woody Johnson is Woody Johnson was blocking trades due to Madden ratings, specifically the Jerry Jeudy trade. Apparently, Joe Douglas was either agreed to a trade with he had either agreed to a trade with the Broncos, or he was like deep in negotiations with them to trade for Jerry Jeudy before he ended up going to the Browns. Um, and I guess Joe Douglas said that he had the framework for a deal in place, and Woody asked his kids what's his Madden rating, and they told him it was 81. He said that's too low, deal's off, or he suggested they don't go through the trade. I guess that Joe Douglas may have made some sort of a comment to George Payton, or whatever his name is, the Broncos GM, and made some sort of comment being like, "Yeah, Woody doesn't like his Madden rating, so we can't do business," or something to that effect.
I
Now
I
that
I think Woody might be part Dominican
he,
because he
um,
doesn't like Haitians clearly. Because Jerry Judy, I don't know if you knew Jerry Judy's Haitian.
I did not, I did not know this.
hmm
Maybe that's why, maybe that's why DJ Enemy's time on the beat was so short lived.
Very
um,
possible.
I thought Woody just didn't like black people in general. To be honest, I didn't know it
Well,
was
I don't
specifically.
think he does anyway.
I didn't know it was
And then he's like,
specifically
"Oh
Haitians.
shit, oh fuck, Haitians. Oh no, get him out. Sorry,
Yeah, so that was the so that's
fuck
like
that,
the that was
fuck
like
that
the
nigga."
biggest headline, or the biggest like nugget from this article. But also when the Jets traded Zach Wilson to the Broncos, they attached the 256 pick. And Woody told Douglas to trade the because the Jets had picked 256 and 257, and he told them to trade 256 and to keep the worst draft pick because the article says is because Woody wanted to keep the Mr. Irrelevant pick so that the Jets could draft their own Brock Purdy. I don't think that's the real reason why. I think that
And that
I don't
and
think
Mister
Woody ever
Irrelevant's
won.
gone already.
Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant's already off the team. Like, really, that's pretty much what happens with every Mr. Irrelevant, and this really probably isn't that big of a deal. Like, there really isn't that much of a difference between the second to last pick in the draft and the last pick in the draft. Either way, you're pretty much just like throwing a dart with a blindfold on and hoping for the best. The Niners obviously got extremely lucky with the Brock Purdy pick, and it worked out well for them. And he's probably the only Mr. Irrelevant to actually become something. But the real reason why Woody wanted the Mr. Irrelevant pick instead of pick 256 is because the Mr. Irrelevant pick, they display the uniforms, and we all know Woody loves his uniforms. Um, and so this was the first time that the new Jets green, the new Jets like primary green, throwback postmodern uniform that they wear now. It was the first time that jersey was publicly displayed. Was at like the Mr. Irrelevant draft pick like ceremony that they do for it. because Olu Fashanu did not attend the draft, so he didn't come up to get a jersey. So, and then they didn't pick again until round 3. So, although maybe Joe Douglas thought that Malachi Corley should have been invited to the draft since he had him ranked above Brian Thomas Jr. on his board. But I think that's the real reason. Why was just like the media coverage and the showing of the jersey. And then the other the other big nugget from this article was that Woody started to include Brick Johnson and Jack Johnson, his sons, in the team meetings and stuff. And there's been like kind of a running joke or half joke for a while on like Jets Twitter that Woody's kids run the team. This article is basically confirming that there's more truth to that than we'd like to believe. But yeah, apparently the Johnson sons would like share social media posts from Jets X Factor and other like content creators and stuff about like what was being said about the team, and basically saying like that while they were like discussing things and decisions that Woody would cite something that like Brick or Jack read online, and he would weigh those opinions in like equally against, say, an opinion that someone in like the scouting department had. So Joe Douglas apparently told a member of the staff, like, basically, I answer to a teenager, which I mean, yeah, that's probably true based on what we've been reading
They
the past few
do
months.
own the team also. I'm like not directly, but partially.
Yeah, they're probably gonna take over the business at some point. I mean, Woody is an old man, so if they are gonna be, if the team is staying in the Johnson family, then they might as well get them involved in the business sooner rather than later, so they can like learn the ropes of it and stuff. They shouldn't be in like the locker room, or they shouldn't necessarily be in like team meetings and like sharing social media posts to like as like suggestions of like personnel or roster decisions. But like I don't mind them being around the team to an extent, but yeah, like they definitely shouldn't be in the locker room or making locker room speeches or like getting on the phone with draft picks or anything like that.
Or taking the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands and giving it to Garrett Wilson, wherever that was.
Oh yeah, that whole weird thing where they were gonna give like I guess it was Jeff Ulbricht's. It was after Jeff Ulbricht's first win as a head coach after the Texans game, where like they
I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah, they like I guess I forget exactly how it's gonna go down, but I guess like they were giving out game balls, and then like I think Aaron Rodgers was like trying to give a game ball to Ulbricht or something like that, because Rodgers loved Ulbricht or loves Ulbricht, and he was building a great like relationship with him. So I guess it meant a lot for Rodgers to, after his first win, to give Jeff Ulbricht a game ball, and then Brick Johnson was just like, nah, fuck that. I'm the only brick here that decides where the game balls are going, and he gave it to Garrett Wilson. Yeah. Yeah, Brick Johnsoned up. The other Madden.
Wait. Do you think he named his son after DeBrickashaw Ferguson? Shit. I mean, he got drafted maybe 17 years ago.
Yeah,
he's 17, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 17, and DeBrickashaw was drafted in 2006, so it is possible. Is that his? That's his. I guess. That's his legal, like his legal name is Brick Johnson. That's not like a
Yeah,
nickname
that's
for
his
something
legal
else.
name.
Wow.
That would be wild.
Yeah, that would be something. I guess it's possible. Although I
Leave it to
mean,
him
at
to
that
name
time,
his
like
son
like
after
DeBrickashaw
Papa.
Ferguson had a good rookie year, but I don't know if I don't know if he had established himself enough to be like. I don't know if he established him enough to be like, oh yeah, I want to name my kid after you after just 1 year, but who knows? Maybe
Maybe he
we'll have
changed his
to.
name.
Yeah, the other
You know what?
yeah,
Your name was Woody, but now I'm changing it to Brick.
yeah, yeah. Woody Brick Dick Johnson. Woody also the other Madden influenced decision, but the decision went through anyway. Apparently, when the Jets were signing John Simpson, Woody Johnson was advising against it, basically saying that he had a low awareness rating, and that he because of that he didn't want him on the team, but Joe Douglas did it anyway, and John Simpson's been pretty good.
Yeah, he has been. I was definitely
Yeah,
wrong about it.
yeah, and then the last thing was like the last big thing from the article was that in 2022 when the Jets were fighting for their playoff lives in that game against Seattle. It was like the second to last game of the season, the game that officially eliminated them from the playoffs. Mike White was playing through broken ribs. He played really badly. The Jets only scored like 6 points and they got eliminated. And I guess after the game, Mike White like slammed his helmet in the locker room, and Woody Johnson was like, "Yeah, you should throw your helmet. You fucking suck." So it's like Woody is basically just like Woody's basically
Apparently, he
just like,
apologized after it, but I don't care.
yeah, he apologized because like I don't know. I think he apologized because like Mike White was just like, I think Mike White was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I just came back like prematurely playing with like 8 broken ribs in my body after like getting folded up like a lawn chair by Matt Milano in Buffalo. I
Yeah,
came back to try and get
yeah,
your
that shit
sorry
was
ass
bad.
team into the playoffs that hasn't been in the playoffs in 12 years at this point. And you're like basically degrading me the same way like a drunken fan in section 338 would. Like,
And this was in 2022,
yeah, this is the 2022 season,
2022 year. Okay.
the one season where it looked like, 2022 was kind of the season where it looked like,
Looked
okay,
like we started out good because we were
yeah,
like
we started out,
6-3
yeah,
at one point,
yeah, we were 5-2, we were
and
6-3,
then
we were
Breeze
in
Hall
first
got
place in the
injured.
division at the bye week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after the
Brees Hall got
Broncos
injured
game.
in Denver.
So did Elijah Vera Tucker.
Yeah, AVT and Brees Hall got hurt in Denver. And that was like kind of the beginning of the end. Also, like the beginning of the end was kind of the week before when in Green Bay, even though they had like probably their best win of the season that
Yeah.
week, but then after that, like Elijah Moore went and like requested a trade and like started bitching about like Mike LaFleur and
God,
Zach
that fucking
Wilson,
guy.
and you know, good for him. He clearly ended up in a way better situation.
All right. I want to bring this up real quick. So, when we drafted Elijah Moore and Connor Hughes was still on the Can't Wait podcast, this
Yeah,
motherfucker was talking about how I would listen to it like every week. He would say that the whole coaching staff they were like in love with Elijah Moore. Like, this guy's a number one receiver. He can do all this shit. He's like amazing, and he has so much talent
yeah,
that
and they were
it's
like,
like they made it seem like he was like Tyreek Hill. And
shocked that he fell to them.
yeah, and I'm like, well, no shit. What the fuck do you expect? And now you see the attitude. And you see, and he told, didn't he tell like Mike LaFleur to go fuck himself? Clearly, do you think Mike LaFleur was the problem now?
No, not at all. And like Mike LaFleur is doing
I don't.
pretty well in
Yeah.
LA with the Rams. No, I think like every other quarterback that was put in a game during Mike LaFleur's time as OC, they looked not only competent, but they looked good. Mike
And
White
he
had multiple.
rave about Elijah Moore.
Mike
Rave
White had,
about it.
Mike White had multiple 300-yard games as starting quarterback. Even Josh Johnson had a 300-yard game. Chris Streveler struggled to complete passes, but like that's what Chris Streveler is. He's like Canadian Tim Tebow. So you kind of knew what you were getting with him. But yeah, no, the only person that really made Mike LaFleur look bad was Zach Wilson. And I think I remember from Zach Wilson's rookie year, like the rookie year for like Zach and like that whole like coaching staff. Zach gets hurt, and then the first Mike White game against the Bengals happens where everyone's like, holy shit, Mike White, he threw for like 400 yards. We beat the Bengals, and like who ended up winning, the Bengals end up winning the AFC and going to the Super Bowl. And, it was one of our 4 wins for the season. So it's like this big upset. We were like 11-point underdogs or something in that game, and we end up winning it. And, everyone's like, holy shit, like, look at Mike White and look at this. And like, everyone was like, and then everyone was pointed out that LaFleur was like in his bag that game and that he changed some things up because Mike LaFleur was catching a lot of heat for Zach Wilson at the beginning of his career. Like everyone was kind of putting the heat on LaFleur, which I think is a coping mechanism that fans of shitty teams like ourselves do when we draft a quarterback and you're quickly seeing that they're not it. Is you look for somebody else to blame. And I saw this happen with Steelers fans last year with Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada. Now, Kenny Pickett sucks, and Matt Canada sucked too, and he needed to go.
Even worse.
But I think that Matt Canada, like, kind of got treated a little unfairly by Pittsburgh, like to the point where like there were Penguin games, like hockey games, where like the fans were breaking out and fire Matt Canada chants.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. Like that's just crazy to me. Like was he a bad offensive coordinator? Absolutely. But and he definitely deserved to get fired, but like to an extent he was also a scapegoat for how much Kenny Pickett sucked. And that's pretty much the same thing that happened to Mike LaFleur. He was a scapegoat for how much Zach sucked. Woody Johnson was.
I'm pretty sure he wanted Saleh to fire him.
Oh yeah. Woody Johnson not only wanted Saleh to fire him, he forced him to fire him.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you knew this. So I found this out maybe a week ago, and this was through you know about Nick Spano and how he's like he has some ties into like
U Stadium
scouts and U Stadium. So apparently, and this was during the scouting process, Justin Fields and Zach Wilson apparently has ADHD. And a lot of people knew that. And Joe Douglas still took a chance on him. And Justin Fields has an epilepsy problem. I didn't know that, which is very interesting now. And I mean, I don't know how bad it is, how severe, but I mean, if you have like issues like that, like why wouldn't that be like on notice?
I think technically maybe the reason why you couldn't put that out there, and maybe the reason
hurt them.
Not even that, but like HIPAA, it's like patient doctor confidentiality type of thing. Like I guess it's a HIPAA violation to like put that out there because I remember I have ADHD, and when I was I was a young Yeah, when I was shocking. I'm actually kind of retarded. When I was when I was a young kid, like I went to, when I first got like diagnosed for ADHD, I went to a doctor, to like, get diagnosed and get prescribed the medication for it, and all that stuff. And I remember the doctor telling me like that there are like Major League Baseball players that take like Adderall that have ADD and stuff too. And me being like 13-year-old kid who loved baseball, I was just like, oh my God, who? And they're like, can't tell you. HIPAA, patient, patient doctor
Oh, okay.
confidentiality.
Okay,
Um,
so
so that's
it's just a
probably the reason.
confidentiality type of thing.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's probably the reason that stuff like can't really
Mm-hmm.
be out there is because of
Yeah.
that. But I
Well,
mean,
I'm
I guess
breaking it right now.
yeah, we're breaking it. So I guess we'll I guess we better get on the phone with our lawyers because I guess a lawsuit could be coming.
And
But
I don't. Yeah, we might because he was like, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'll say it on the spaces right now. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, really? And you
yeah,
know what? It kind of makes sense because
no, it
like
does.
the whole ADHD thing is just like processing, like it's in his situation, just processing how to run the offense that quickly. It
Yeah,
kind of makes sense now.
no, it makes total sense because I mean NFL offenses are very complex. I imagine that
They are
learning an NFL playbook is probably like it's probably similar to taking
insane.
like. Yeah, it's probably similar to like taking like an advanced statistics class in college where you're just getting like
Some shit.
all this
Yeah.
information like thrown at you and you're expected to process it, within like
A
a
week.
couple of months basically and
Yeah.
be prepared to efficiently run an offense and then like, there's the learning part and then there's like the translating it to the on the field part, which also makes sense because when did Zach Wilson actually make good plays? When he was off script, when he was improvising,
Yeah.
when he just like chucked the ball
Exactly.
down the field. That's when he looked like he was at his best. But when he was making simple
Mm-hmm.
reads and like, trying to complete like, a screen pass or like a 2-yard inbreaker to Braxton Berrios, he would airmail it. So
Mm-hmm.
that checks out. I mean, as far as the Justin Fields thing goes, I would say whatever issues he had with the epilepsy and stuff, like it couldn't have been that bad because like
Yeah.
as an NFL player,
I, I,
you do have to play a lot of night games and there's the lights and some
right.
stadiums
Right.
they do like the crazy like presentations and stuff. So I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
as far as I know, he's
And
never
I
had any issues.
and I mean, like he was fairly decent. Like at least playing in Pittsburgh. I thought he didn't play that bad. I thought he was decent.
He didn't play bad. He just like so he couldn't really throw efficiently or like he was very inaccurate with his throws, but he made things happen with his legs and between him and Najee and Jalen Warren, they had a very good running attack. He
Mm-hmm.
basically completed enough passes. But like Russell Wilson, I think was like clearly an upgrade as far as like being like a real quarterback
Yeah.
goes. And I think like really just like
100%.
the Steelers defense was good enough to like win them games until Russell Wilson was ready to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like, like it's kind of like how the Jets defense was like good enough to win them games. And then Mike White came and then, you know, they, the Jets defense was still really good, but then Zach Wilson came back, and I think it just got to a point where eventually like the other shoe was gonna drop, and it wasn't gonna,
Right.
it wasn't gonna, you weren't gonna be winning games 10-3 all year. Like eventually you're gonna need your quarterback to do something, and they just couldn't, get that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it does
But
make sense that
yeah.
could be,
I just wanted to bring that up as a little snippet. But
yeah.
all right, so first things first. GM search.
Yes, the Jets GM search. So they have
We are
interviewed several. They've
Dimitrov,
interviewed.
Jim Nagy. I think there was someone else.
They interviewed what's his name? They interviewed the guy. They interviewed. Did they interview John Robinson or Thomas Dimitrioff? That's the Falcons
Yeah,
guy.
Dimitrov. Yeah, they did
And
Dimitrov already. I don't mind Dimitrov actually.
I actually think out of everyone they've interviewed, so far, I think I like Dimitrioff the best. Because I mean, he built a team that went to a Super Bowl. In the Falcons, he made
and
the
they should have
trade.
fucking won.
He traded for Julio Jones. They should have won that
So
Super Bowl.
his first pick was Matt Ryan. His first pick was Matt Ryan. And
so his first pick was a franchise quarterback.
So I was looking through his draft picks. I mean, there were a couple. He was GM for a long time. He was like GM from 2008 to like 2020 or 2021.
Yeah. They only fired him like after
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of the pick. Like he drafted Jake Matthews. He drafted that middle linebacker on the Jaguars now, Alua Kuhn. I think that's his name. He's a fucking beast. He drafted some edge rushers that were really good. I think Desmond Trufant too.
Yeah.
But he's had a lot of like
Devontae
good
Freeman
picks.
Yeah, and he made the trade.
He did.
I think he made the trade up in the draft to get Julio Jones.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, he's had a lot of pretty good picks, and fairly. And I mean, the Falcons in that run when he was GM, I'm pretty sure he had a winning record.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty good winning percentage actually. Like I think it was like he had like almost like a 600 winning percentage.
Yeah,
so I mean those
like
teams
that,
were.
Which, I mean, as a GM, that's good.
Yeah, because those teams were like pretty. Yeah, those teams were like pretty. Those teams were like pretty consistently in the. Those teams were pretty consistently in the playoffs, like the Falcons.
Yeah, they were.
He also worked in like the Patriots. He also worked in the Patriots staff, as well. So I mean, I think Dimitrioff is a good. I think that would be a good hire and definitely a good starting point for the Jets because you want someone that has experience. I think because
and usually GMs don't get second chances.
Yeah,
and
it's either usually like
the fact that
you're either usually the GM somewhere for like 15 to 20 years, like a Howie Roseman or a Ozzie Newsome or whoever, like it, or or like you're a head coach GM that's there for like 20 years, like Bill Belichick or something like that, or like you get your chance and you get fired. But like. I like Dimitrioff because I feel like what the Jets have been trying to do with their GMs in the past is they always seem to try to poach an assistant, like front office guy from like a team that has experienced success or has won. Like the Jets poached Idzik from the Seahawks, like a year after they won their Super Bowl. And it turns out Idzik was basically just like like the coffee and like the guy who booked flights and shit. He was like the fake email job guy of like the Seahawks front office. Clearly did not know how to scout or evaluate talent.
Well,
although
no, we got him I think the year before they won the Super Bowl.
No, it was actually you're right. Yeah, it was. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
2013.
because
So
so they thought they were trying to pull like a quick one, saying, "Okay, we got the guy we need,"
yeah,
and
yeah. And as
like
soon as
he's
Idzik,
got all this talent. Yeah,
as soon
whatever.
as Idzik left the
But
Seahawks, they go and win the Super Bowl and get back to another one. So maybe he was the guy that was holding them back.
yeah, no shit, and he wasn't even the one who drafted Russell Wilson because
No,
we had him in 2012. That's when Russell Wilson got drafted,
no, no.
and
We still had Tannenbaum in 2012. We hired Idzik in 2013.
13. Oh, it was 2013. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So basically all the
Oh, I'm thinking.
problems.
Oh, you know why? I'm thinking of the Idzik 12. That's what I'm thinking. It was
Yeah, yeah.
2012.
The Idzik 12 was actually 20. The Idzik 12 was actually the 2014 draft. And an interesting little nugget from that. So I was watching this YouTube video last night. It was this guy who was playing like he was playing every NCAA football video game, and he was trying to complete a 99-yard touchdown pass to every receiver in each game who had the highest speed rating in NCAA. So it was like, it was like Devin Hester in like 2005. It was like Ted Ginn Jr. in like '06 or '07 or something like that. In NCAA football 2011, you know who had the highest speed rating? Shaq Evans.
2011 from.
Shaq Evans, who the Jets then drafted in the 24. He was part of that Idzik 12 in 2014. He was like drafted in like I think like the 5th or 6th round or something like that. So maybe
I got
maybe
confused because I was trying to remember who the fuck that was for a second, and I'm like, oh god.
yeah, I mean he barely played. And then I think like after that he was only on the Jets for that year, and then I think because I
Mhm.
was looking into because I had to make sure it was the same Shaq Evans, and it was. But yeah,
Yeah.
2011, Shaq Evans had the highest rating speed in NCAA football. So perhaps that was also a video game Woody Johnson influenced pick. Maybe it goes back further than we
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, could be.
Um,
It
yeah,
probably
but
does.
yeah, it's like, but yeah, with like all these GMs, like Joe Douglas, they poached him from the Eagles like a couple of years after, they won their Super Bowl. So and then like Mike McCagnon, they poached from the 49ers. By the time the Jets got him, like the whole Harbaugh thing was like over there, and like the 49ers were kind of a mess. But McCagnon was a scout there, like for their good years when they went to the Super Bowl and the NFC
Wait a
Championship
second.
and stuff.
Are you sure Idzik wasn't there in 2012? Because I
I'm
remember
positive
Bart Scott saying Idzik cut me in 2012.
that's not true. 2012, Mike Tannenbaum was the GM. Uh, maybe Bart Scott's not remembering it correctly or
2012
has
the
CTE,
butt
but
the butt fumble season, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
The butt
that
fumble
was like
season, right?
because that was the first year, like because no one got fired after 2011, because 2011 was the first year they missed the playoffs. They went
Okay.
8-8, but like
Okay. And
I think
yeah,
people
yeah.
still thought,
They went 8 and
yeah,
8 because they lost that last game to the Giants. I remember with Victor Cruz's 99-yard touchdown, which I was at.
yeah, which was actually the second to
He
last game
scored
of the
right in
season. They
front of me
lost.
because I was in the end zone.
Yeah,
Damn it.
so he was salsa
And
dancing right in your face.
okay, yeah, that makes sense because I remember San Antonio Holmes was there in 2012, and he started like bitching out in like
Yeah,
press
that happened
conferences.
like the week after, and uh,
Okay, okay,
yeah, and then Tannenbaum got fired after the 2012 season, but they kept Rex, and then they like forced a
uh-huh.
marriage between Rex and Idzik, which is kind of like
For
where all the Jets
2
problems
years.
like started and root back to is like when they fired the GM but kept the head coach, and like ever since then they've just been on like weird timelines and like not able to like get a regime like in order and like all the weird reporting structures and stuff. But yeah, it was Idzik was the GM from 2013 and 2014, and then then it was McCagnon from like 2015 till 2019 when Gase got him fired for Joe Douglas.
Okay.
And I was listening to a podcast. I think it was the
Who was like that trash fucking edge rusher we drafted in 2012?
Quentin Coples
from North Carolina.
It was Quentin Coples. He had the
that
brand
was in 2012
tattoo on his arm.
Sure. He had the horse, the cow brand or whatever it was.
Yeah, the horseshoe shoulder. Yeah, that was yeah, I think that was I think it kind of goes to show that Rex Ryan definitely like had more influence on like those draft picks because when it was Tannenbaum and Mangini, Tannenbaum was drafting well, and then
he basically set up everything for Rex to just feed off of and then just run with.
Yeah, and then Rex was like, "Oh well, I gotta draft like shitty corners and shitty defensive linemen who can't actually rush the passer with every first round pick for all of eternity." But yeah, I think that Thomas Dimitroff would probably be my number one candidate as far as who they've interviewed so far. If they get to interview Ben Agnew, the Lions GM, or the Lions assistant GM,
I gotta tell you right now, head coach wise,
or Ray Agnew.
I am sold on two possible head coaches, both offensive minded, and any like the fact that everybody wants Mike Vrabel, I don't want him because Jets fans are fucking retarded.
Yeah.
So I really like Joe Brady. Joe Brady's won, and he's definitely turned it with Josh Allen, and he's making him have an MVP season right now.
Yeah, because
also I like Liam Cohen a lot.
Liam Cohen, he's the the Todd Bowles disciple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like Liam Cohen.
I do like him a lot. He's real like shifty with all his stuff. His schemes are crazy.
Yeah, because it seems like any of like
two tight end sets all the time, and it's awesome.
With Cade Otton and I don't even know who their other tight end is. Yeah, no, I
Cade Otton and I forget the other one.
Yeah, but that even goes to show you like we don't even know the name of the second tight end of the Tampa Bay Bucks, and this guy's like finding a way to make him effective.
They're still doing good.
What if we do? Because I mean, there's also been a lot of talk about the Bucks assistant GM Greenberg, Mike Greenberg, not the radio TV. Yeah, not the radio TV host guy, but the Buccaneers assistant general manager. I mean, what if we did like Mike Greenberg, and then we hired the Bucks guy, Liam Cohen.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that could be a pretty good tandem there.
It could be because they're both familiar with each other. They know what personnel they like to run, and clearly they're like a tandem already. So like the writing's on the wall right there. Just use it.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as Vrabel goes, like I have mixed feelings on Vrabel. So
So do I.
I do think there are some good things about him. Like he's definitely an asshole, and the Jets definitely need an asshole. And he's
Mhm.
definitely someone who I think, would come in there, command respect, and he would be able to like stand up to Woody. And, he'd be like, we'd have like a true, like a true experienced head coach, like alpha in the room. But my issue with him is would he run like an NFL offense that's like, resembles a modern NFL offense like in the year
I don't.
2025?
y-
Was he a Derrick Henry
Yeah,
merchant?
but see,
You know, he,
yeah, that's true. But see, I don't think he's like a candidate for. I think he has like two surefire spots that he could go to, and it's not the
where?
Jets. I think. Well, his dream job was to be the head coach for Ohio State,
Yeah, and
so I
apparently
think he might go to college. And on top of
if
that,
if
I
Ohio
think
State,
Gerard Mayo could get fired, and then he
yeah,
could go to the Patriots.
yeah, where he played. Yeah, because Ohio State, yeah, like if Ohio State loses to Tennessee tonight, then they're
Done.
cooked. Uh,
He's
like
he's
Ryan
there.
Day is cooked,
Yeah,
and
they are
they'd
cooked.
probably, and
Yes,
then
he is.
he probably, and someone like Vrabel might actually be better suited for college than the NFL at this point.
Hmm.
Like I think that
I
he's
think
got like
so.
that fiery attitude. Like I think he's like more. I think that he's more of like a college like program builder than he is like an NFL head coach at this point.
He's kind of like a to me. He's not like that big rah rah guy like a Dan Campbell, but he's like a subpar Dan Campbell. That
Yeah,
like except he knows both sides of the ball. That's the thing with
right.
Vrabel.
Yeah. The other thing
And
with Vrabel too
that
is
definitely
that
helps.
the other thing with Vrabel too that's a little alarming is you look at the Jets staff, like most of the Jets offensive staff right now is remnants of Vrabel's staff from Tennessee. Like Todd Downing,
It is
who's actually not that bad as far as play calling goes.
calling
I
plays.
think
Yeah, no, he's not
yeah,
bad. He's not bad. I don't
yeah, I
think
think
he's
Todd
that bad.
Downing's doing a fine job. But what's really concerning is like the offensive line staff, like the Keith Carter and like all those assholes that
Yeah,
Vrabel hired. Granted,
yeah,
he also fired them.
and yeah, and I feel like they're the reason he got fired.
Yeah, they're probably a big part of it. Well, I think it was that, and I think also a big part of why Vrabel got fired was like he was butting heads with like the GM and the owner. Like he was not really afraid to, he wasn't really afraid to like stand up to ownership and the GM, and like he wasn't afraid to speak his mind. And I guess he flew a little too close to the sun in that regard, and that's what got him fired. Or if you believe what Diana Rossini says, that then it's because he was big and
I
intimidating.
do,
I believe it too.
I
I
do
don't
believe
get
everything Diane Orsini says.
I don't get like what I don't get about Jets fans is like, most of us all
I
agree
hope
that
actually
like,
just guts the whole Jets fucking the entire front office out.
yeah. Yeah, hopefully they got like
Everything. I hope she does
they,
it like Game of Thrones, like Red Wedding, Game of Thrones.
yeah, they need to got like the like business side of things too, like that Jaime guy who is like has been like president of the team since like 2000,
Oh,
like since
get him
Woody
out.
took over. Yeah,
He
he needs to
sucks.
go. Like obviously
Yeah, no
he's been
shit.
there this whole
What
time.
does he do? What does he
He
do?
can't be good. I think he's a businessman, but like he's more handling the business side, but clearly he's in Woody's ear about like football decisions too. And that's I think where the problems come in. Um But what's funny
fuck
about
it.
Jets
I don't
fans and
like
the
it.
whole Diana Rossini beef is like I get it. Like, this person is constantly writing negative articles about your team. It does seem like she has some personal beef with Aaron Rodgers over whatever. But like people will dismiss what she says as fake, but it's like we all agree that like the Jets are an incompetent franchise and that Woody is an incompetent owner. So it's like, why do we get mad at the reporter who like reports these things and like brings it to light?
Exactly. That's like, okay, like you really have to go out of your way to really just make up a whole fucking story. Like no one can come up with shit like that. How would you
Like the
just
whole
make that
Madden
shit up?
ratings thing, like
And guess what?
that's
They
too
never
ridiculous.
denied it either. They don't deny
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No one has come out and said, no one has come out and said, no one has come out and been like, please disregard this. Like, we would never base our football decisions off of Madden ratings. Like, this is unequivocally false. Like, you haven't gotten any sort of statement of that regard. So, yeah, clearly there's
At
something
all.
there.
That's right. All right. On this podcast, we are Diana Rossini supporters. She's our queen. She's the queen of the podcast. And
Yes.
let her flourish.
Yeah.
Hopefully she
let her
runs
cook.
that motherfucker into selling the damn team.
Let her cook. Let her do her thing. Zach Rosenblatt too. He's part of those. He's part of those hit pieces. So yeah, like,
Yeah,
do I
him
believe?
too. He's probably helping her.
Like, are there maybe? Yeah, well, he definitely is. They work on all those stories together, and I mean, like, are they necessarily? And like, it's like they're just doing their jobs. It's like, is everything they say necessarily like 100% true? Like, could there maybe be some exaggerations
Probably
there,
not.
or some things that, maybe some things that these former employees or that are leaking these things that are maybe like, maybe they're over exaggerating or embellishing some things. Sure. But like, I'm sure that the basic framework of these stories and these articles, like, I'm sure there is truth to that. Like, who just pulls this out of their ass? Like, oh, Madden ratings.
Yeah. No, there has to be some. There's clearly a source that's giving her information, and she's probably just fabricating it to like white lies, but at the same time telling the truth.
Yeah. Like the Madden rating thing is probably true, but like true in what context? Like maybe, like I think Costello said this on his podcast, and it's kind of funny when like Costello of all people is the one like who kind of comes to the Jets and Woody's defense.
And I saw that too.
But he was like, yeah, maybe like, he's like, I don't think Woody said like, his Madden ratings stink, no deal. But like maybe he made a comment about his Madden ratings and didn't, maybe he made a comment about his Madden ratings and didn't like, didn't like what he had to say.
I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So he made like kind of like a slick comment about it. And like, I don't know if they took it as like jokingly or like he was serious. And they probably just ran it with, oh, well, shit. He's the fucking owner. Let's just do what the fuck he just said.
Yeah, or like that whole the whole thing about him suggesting that they bench Rodgers for Tyrod Taylor. And then like, someone in the meeting was like, "Oh, was that a joke?" And then someone else was like, "I don't think he was joking." So
yeah.
So but then like they kind of backtracked and said that that it kind of was a joke, but I think that's classic, just backpedaling. Like something bad gets out, and then it's like, oh, it was just a joke, like I think that there was probably some, I think there was probably some, maybe it was like a half joke, like it was probably something where like Woody wanted to see how people would react, and if they were open to it, then he'd be like, okay, like let's do it, let's put in Tyrod. But since they were all like adamantly against it, and we're like, they were like, it's like you make like, say I made like an outlandish statement or an outlandish suggestion, and depending on the reaction is like kind of how I frame it next. Like I say something, and if you're like, oh, are you fucking kidding? And then I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just joking. But if you're like, oh, actually that might be kind of a good idea, then I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Exactly where all of that came from.
Yeah, so it was probably something like that where it was like a half joke or a half truth.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this fucking team, but all I can tell you is they're still dysfunctional. And as long as the Johnsons are the owners, we're never going to see a damn Super Bowl. Because they like to meddle into everything too much.
It definitely feels that way. But I mean, at the same time, like, the Chiefs were considered to have like one of the worst owners in football for a while. Like, they were getting like all the worst grades.
That's true.
From
and
like,
the Lions too.
Yeah, and like people always reference like the Knicks and Jim Dolan. And Jim Dolan also owns the Rangers, and I mean, the Rangers suck now, but like for a while, like the Rangers would, Jim Dolan would stay out of his way with the Rangers, and they would do well. And then like he finally like hired the right people for the Knicks, and like they're doing well. So like really, it's kind of like what you alluded to, like on a previous podcast, where it's like we just have to get lucky with the, we just kind of have to get lucky. Like we just have to get, we have to get lucky with the GM hire. We got to get lucky with the head coach, and we got to get lucky with a quarterback.
Lucky with the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean the quarterback really, it's like the biggest thing. Like that's kind of what happened with Washington. Like Dan Snyder left, but Dan Snyder leaving doesn't exactly turn them into like a destination or anything like that. Like just like when Woody Johnson, like say Woody Johnson sold the team tomorrow, and like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Gary Vee, whoever buys the team, it's not going to suddenly like turn the Jets. It's not like this cloud is going to like, part and everything's going to be like, everything's going to be sunshine and roses.
It's not like it's a.
Well, we're still going to be.
It kind of is like. It's kind of like there's a black cloud, but the black cloud's not going to part ways until
you get the right people and start winning.
So Wait, and so you mentioned Washington, right? And they had the 33rd team scout for their GM and head coaching hire. We're doing the same thing now. And I don't know. Who knows if it's going to fucking work? I don't know. I can never know. Yeah. But also with Washington, their owner sold the team.
Yeah, well, he was forced to sell the team because of all like the stuff that was going on, which we need someone to get.
2 owners.
Yeah,
2 owners.
Real quick,
sold the team because they had to forcefully sell the team.
Real quick, it's 12:58. So the first football game is about to start. I need advice, real quick. Should I start?
Okay.
In my flex, should I start Tank Dell, Calvin Austin, Kareem Hunt, Jalen Coker, Amir Abdullah, or Deebo Samuel? I do not trust Deebo.
Holy shit.
I don't really trust Tank Dell that much, but like I think I might go with Tank Dell.
I was gonna say Tank Dell, but they're playing the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
We were supposed to make a damn bet on the damn unless you want to do the second game.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow's games.
We could do we could do like, the games that haven't started or aren't starting in a minute. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Tank Dell. I don't really trust him, but I don't really trust any of these guys. I especially do not trust.
I kind of trust Tank Dell.
And
I
I
don't know
was
about Nico
watching.
because, well, I'm saying like as for Houston goes, I don't know if
Yeah,
because Nico looks like he's still hurt,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like he'll trust Tank Dell more.
and it's 1 o'clock, so Tank Dell is officially locked in. So that's just what I'm doing. But I'm going for a three-peat in a fantasy league, so definitely.
I'm done. I'm already done. So
Damn.
I can't
Yeah.
do shit. I
Yeah.
got fucked so
What do
hard.
you
I
call it?
lost like 5 games in a row. All bye week shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tank Dell is locked in, and
it was the
he's kind
worst.
of he's been kind of underwhelming. Yeah, the new bye week thing is fucking stupid. How how
I
like
was,
the week
dude. I
the
was
week
like
before
6-3.
playoffs, or they need to go back to all the bye weeks. All the bye weeks got to be done before Thanksgiving. They got to go back to that because it's ridiculous that
Yes,
like if you're trying to clinch a playoff spot, you have to deal with bye weeks in that week where you're trying to clinch a playoff spot.
dude. Listen to my running backs right now. I had McCaffrey, Pacheco, David Montgomery. All of them got hurt.
Ugh,
Fuck.
that sucks. That fucking stinks.
Nasty work.
Yeah.
Nasty
Montgomery.
fucking work. That's why I fucking lost.
Yeah, Montgomery. I don't have Montgomery, and I wasn't facing Montgomery in any leagues last week. So I have 6 teams. 3 of them made it to the playoffs, and two of them are now still alive. The team that lost in the playoffs last week was my dynasty team, and I did not have David Montgomery, nor was I facing him. But basically, the reason why I lost was because David Montgomery got hurt, and I was facing Paul, who has Jahmyr Gibbs, and then Jahmyr Gibbs got like those 2 garbage time touchdowns. Which that's what really killed me.
Yeah.
I also made a trade with him before the season started that involved Jonnu Smith. That involved me sending him Jonnu Smith, which was kind of like an afterthought at the time, but now he's like the best tight end in football.
Yeah, no shit. On the Dolphins?
Yeah. Yeah, like he was kind of an afterthought at the time of the trade, but now it's like, yeah, that really fucked me. But yeah, should we do this? Shall we do this podcast parlay?
I had Njoku. Yeah, let's do a quick little parlay. For what do you want to do? Like, you want to do like a team, like teams, or
We could do
players?
anything really.
Do
You want to
both if
pick
you
like,
want.
you want to pick like. So yeah, so Penn State's already beating SMU 14-0, so we can kind of leave that one. We could probably leave that out, but like if you wanted to do like something from the Steelers game, and then like something from the playoff, the college football playoff games that start later, and then like maybe we could do something for the Jets game tomorrow.
What do you want to do? DraftKings, or is this powered by DraftKings or FanDuel?
Whatever gives us better odds. But we can kind of just I guess we can kind of just figure out what we like first. So for the Steelers Ravens game, I also this might be silly, but sometimes I watch YouTube videos of simulated Madden games to make decisions on like who to bet on, like who to bet on for like anytime touchdown.
You're not the only one.
Oh, I know. So honestly, I was watching.
If I'm feeling freaky, I might do it. If I'm feeling freaky, I might do it.
Yeah. So I was watching a Madden simulation from the Steelers game yesterday, and the results were quite interesting. So the Ravens won the game 23-17, and this simulation was fairly realistic because they had George Pickens out of the game. So the bet that I got from it that I probably like the most from a value standpoint and from a and from like it'll probably just happen is Mark Andrews anytime touchdown. He's been on a touchdown scoring streak.
Okay. What about Najee?
I do like Najee, although the Steelers. Oh, look, Tank Dell already has one catch for 13 yards. He's off to a good start. Although
look at you,
the Ravens have a pretty bad pass defense. The Madden simulation did have Russell Wilson scoring a touchdown himself. But I feel like of all the people that scored touchdowns, well, Derrick Henry also scored a touchdown, which Derrick Henry's probably due to get to the end zone. He's missed it a couple of times, but it's also like
I definitely like that. I could, you know what? I could see him getting 2 touchdowns.
All right, fuck it, let's go. So we'll go Derrick Henry 2+ tutties. God, I hope this doesn't screw me over. So we'll go Derrick Henry 2+ touchdowns.
Don't worry, I'm gonna send you some bread.
No, I'm saying I hope this doesn't screw me over because last week I bet Derrick Henry 2+ touchdowns against the Giants as part of a parlay, and I think it was the only leg that didn't hit, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so we could do Derrick Henry 2+ touchdowns. Let's have a look at what else we got. So college
Russell
football
Wilson passing. What's that looking like?
His over/under on passing. Let's see. It's where's the over/unders? His over/under on passing on FanDuel is on DraftKings is 207.5 yards. I don't know. It's a little tricky because George Pickens is out.
It's hard because
but also
right. I was gonna say who is he really passing to?
Yeah, like Calvin Austin, Mike Williams. Actually, if you want to really get frisky,
what about Freiermuth? He can pass a Freiermuth too.
Freiermuth, like anytime you mean, or his receiving?
No, just like in general for passing yards.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he's actually 206.5 on FanDuel. I mean, it's a little tricky because the Ravens passing defense sucks, but Russell Wilson struggled the last time he played the Ravens. They won that game on only field goals.
Is this at home? Who's at home?
Ravens.
Ravens are at home? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and the spread
What's Lamar's passing yards?
Lamar's passing over/under is 222.5 is his over/under.
201. Ooh. Damn. I feel like Steelers passing defense sucks too.
Yeah, well, I mean the Steelers defense is just overall pretty good. I guess Joey Porter Jr. has
their front seven is definitely good.
Joey Porter Jr. has been getting cooked, and TJ Watt, I believe TJ Watt is playing. He did get hurt in the last game though. So, I mean, he'll be playing. I don't know if he'll be 100% though. I will say the spread for this game is 7 points, and even with like George Pickens
Ravens
being
are
out.
favored, right?
Yeah, Ravens are 7-point favorites. I would say that I do like the Steelers +7. I think the Ravens win this game, but I think that I just think that, a game between those teams, it's always close. I don't see it being more than 7 points.
Yeah, I don't either. You want to take this? You want to take the spread?
Yeah. So we'll do Derrick Henry 2
for
plus.
the Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers +7.
What? All right. Well, let's check. Let's check after you put in everything. Let's see
We'll
what
see what
it
has
looks
better
like
beat.
with Derrick Henry. Yeah, I want to see what Derrick Henry looks like with 2 and with 1.
Or just at any time. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So Derrick Henry 1 or 2 touchdowns. Steelers +7. You want to do anything else for this game, or should we move on to other games?
Let's think. Yeah, let's move on to other games.
Okay.
How many do you want to do? Like 4? You want to do like 4 picks?
Yeah, or maybe like 4 or 5. Like we could do like 1 pick for each college game, and then we could do something for the Jets game. Maybe we could even cook up like our own like little same game parlay for the Jets game. Yeah, let's make this like a 4-pick parlay.
I'm liking.
And then let's do 2 parlays.
Okay.
We
can do that.
We'll do this one for the Saturday, and then we'll just do a Jets parlay. So we got the Derrick Henry touchdown, Steelers +7 for this game. Then Clemson at Texas. The spread for that game is 13.5. I kind of like Clemson to cover.
I do too. I like Clemson's quarterback. Klubnik was his name. Klubnik,
something like that.
His name is. He's decent. I think he transferred from Syracuse.
Yeah, so we can do.
They'll definitely score. What was the final? What was the final score for last night's game? Notre Dame, Indiana.
Notre Dame won 27-17. But the score made it look a lot closer than the game actually was. It was really like 27-3, but it was really like 27-3.
They just scored a whole bunch of garbage.
Yeah, it was like they scored a garbage time touchdown. Indiana did. Then they recovered an onside kick. And so it ended 20. Yeah, and then they went for another. Then they scored another touchdown. Then they went for another onside kick, and then it was over. But so I do like.
I watched that fucking game. These fucking cunts. They threw. Oh my god, this is gonna be a long game. God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking what do you call it? Indiana did not belong in the college football playoffs. They did not belong.
They look like shit.
Yeah, so we can do Clemson +13.5, and then for the Tennessee Ohio State game. The spread for that game is 7.5 in favor of Ohio State.
If the Jets fans that want Vrabel, they better hope Ohio State wins. I'm gonna tell you that shit now.
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay. I'm all right.
This
I
game
watched
is
Ohio State a few times.
the
Jeremiah
over under
Smith
for this game
scores a
is
lot.
46.5. I kind of like the over in that game.
Ohio State, Clemson.
Ohio State, Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah. Orange teams.
Tennessee's not bad either.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, the Hawaiian dude.
Yeah. And is that the dude that runs a lot? I think he does.
I think he does, yeah. I actually played I did an offline dynasty in college football, and I was Tennessee for a couple of years, and I had him for like his junior and senior year, and he was pretty good in that game. I will say this though, Tennessee might have the Justin jinx working against them because Justin picked Tennessee for the online dynasty that I'm running.
He would. That means they're going to lose.
Yep. So Ohio State money line might be the move.
Yeah, I like that better.
All right, so that could be the first.
That's 4.
That could be our first parlay.
That's the first one.
So I will now.
Yeah.
I will now cook
I'm
it
cool
up.
with that.
So I will now cook this parlay up. We will see how it looks with Derrick Henry scoring 2 touchdowns versus 1 touchdown. Paul Goldschmidt just signed with the Yankees.
No, fuck. Yes. Breaking news. I'm so happy now. I love Paul Goldschmidt.
I do too. I just worry.
Yes.
I worry he might be a little washed.
I don't think so. I think he'll be excited because he's a Yankee now.
Yeah. So I guess that means the Mets are getting Pete Alonso back.
Yeah, they definitely are. I thought we were going to sign Christian Walker, but I guess not.
Yeah, I'd probably prefer Paul Goldschmidt over Christian Walker. I'm not too. I really want.
I do too. Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, out of the options at first base, I wanted Pete the most, but it doesn't seem like anyone really wants Pete.
It
looks like he's going to go back to the
I'm
Mets.
Like he's give or take to me. I mean, I think he
I
will
just know
because
that
they signed Soto.
I just know that Pete Alonso can hit like 50 home runs, and that he would definitely hit 50 home runs in our ballpark. Hopefully, Paul Goldschmidt finds the fountain of youth this year. But yeah, I'm going to cook this parlay up, and we will see what it looks like.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to start off on FanDuel.
And then we're okay. So you want to do specifically Jets or Rams also?
Yeah, anything from the game. So it could be Jets related. It could be Rams player props. It could be Jets player props, Rams player props, Jets money line, Rams money line. I actually have a weird feeling the Jets might win because what do you call it?
I feel like the same thing.
It's because it's going to be because it's like snowing in New York right now. It's snowing here in Pittsburgh. I was actually I was actually going to go Christmas shopping today.
Stafford don't play good in the cold either.
Yeah, he doesn't play good in the cold. And in general, it's like an LA team in the dome going, West Coast teams traveling to the East Coast always seems to go bad and vice versa. It always seems to go bad for the team that's traveling to the other coast. Plus, you factor in the weather. This feels kind of like a trap game for the Rams, especially because they also have the Seahawks in their last game of the year, and they have Chiefs scored a touchdown. P.A. Mahomes scored a touchdown himself, and then the Rams have.
Oh, fuck.
The Rams had the Cardinals and the Seahawks for their last 2 games, so this actually does feel like a Rams trap game. But we'll get to that parlay in a second.
Mahomes throwing 2 touchdowns, fucker.
Yeah, all right. So Steelers +7. I'm gonna put it as Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns first, and then what I'm gonna do is we'll go to the college football games. We'll go Clemson +13.5. Ohio State money line.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ohio State's not that good to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They're definitely overrated. I could see
they lost to Michigan, but that's a division rival. But anyway,
yeah. Should we go with like the over under instead of betting on a team for that game? It would be more money too.
I don't know. I would it?
Yeah. So Ohio State money line is -275. The over under is 46.5, and it's like -115 for the over and -105 for the under.
Okay. Yeah, let's do. So you want to do Ohio State?
Either that or the or over 46.5, or we could do both.
Okay. Shit.
That might be getting greedy.
Yeah, let's do both. Fuck it.
Fuck it, we ball. All right.
We ball.
So
we ball.
Yeah, so on FanDuel. Yeah, so on FanDuel, this 5-leg parlay, $10 bet would pay out $412 even. Now let me see. Do you want me to see what it's like if it's
how much we laying?
I guess we could do 5 or 10
laying
each.
Down? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
So that's for Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns. Should I see what it looks like dumbed down to 1? Like anytime
do the 1. It's probably gonna be a lot less.
Yeah, it'll be a fuck ton less.
Yeah, I figured. What, like
100? So 1 touchdown. Yeah, so 1 touchdown, 10 would be 127 and 23 cents on FanDuel.
So that's what, like 50 something or 60 each, 60 something each.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not too bad. But...
Yeah, it ain't bad. Now I'll check. I'll check DraftKings.
We ball 2 touchdowns.
Fuck it, we ball 2 touchdowns. All right, let me just check DraftKings and see and I'll see what the odds look like there.
Odds. Come on, Joe Mixon. I need a T. Oh my God, Nico Collins is getting fucked. I smell pussy. Is that you, Sneed?
All right, so the payout on DraftKings for this fucking loser is someone in the ESPN league is taunting me in the losers bracket, mind you. We're in the losers bracket for playoffs, and he's taunting me because Patrick Mahomes rushed for a touchdown. Like good for you, bro. Good for you, man. Taunt all you want. Yeah, so the payout for this bet is much better on DraftKings. $10 wins $586.02. So that's significantly better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do that on DraftKings for sure. Yeah, so our official. Yeah, so and this is actually so our official parlay.
I can. You want me to sell you it? I'll sell you it right now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
20.
It
so we do 2. Okay.
Yeah, it works. All right, so this is the first official podcast parlay is Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns, Steelers +7, Clemson +13.5, Ohio State money line, and over 46.5 in the Ohio State game. Plus 5760 on DraftKings.
Okay. I sent you the bucks.
All right, so we're doing $10 each.
Yeah, man.
All right. So I will now put $20 into my DraftKings account. And I will place this bet. 'Tis the season to light money on fire. Hopefully it pays for our Christmas presents. Yay.
No shit. Or it's the refund. We get our money back.
Yeah. Well, I still got to get some Christmas shopping done. But yeah,
this Jets one's gonna cook. I know it already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so do I. But guess what I do? Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers, whatever the passing yards is, I want to go over.
Yeah, the Rams secondary is food. Yeah, Rams secondary is food. Rodgers has been a lot better as of late. So I haven't watched the Madden simulation.
You know what? You know how we thought we would whoop the Cardinals' ass? You know how we would have. You know how we thought we would have whooped the Cardinals' ass and the Broncos. I think this is going to happen to the Rams.
Yeah,
remember when we tried to lose to the Rams to get Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, which honestly, maybe that was a blessing in disguise.
It could have been, but yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right, so yeah, Rodgers
wants to play for 2 more years. Holy shit.
Yeah. While we're doing this, while we're on the subject of Aaron Rodgers, what do you think about running it back with Aaron Rodgers versus not running it back with Aaron Rodgers?
I don't care. I mean, what we're not going to have who's going to be our bridge quarterback, really? I mean, the only thing is money. That's really it. But he said he's willing to take a pay cut. So I don't know
apparently he's willing to take another. Yeah, apparently he's willing to take another pay cut.
I really. It depends on if the coach that we hire is like,
get the coach in first,
I want Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Get the coach, get the new coach in, see what they think about it, and see what Aaron Rodgers thinks about playing with him. If Rodgers decides, if if he just, if Rodgers decides, oh, I don't want to run whatever offense you're running, then he could take a walk. Aaron Rodgers can take a walk. I don't want him having any influence over who the new coach is. And he has to run his offense and do things his way. He's just another civilian on the team. He is not a GM. He is not anything like that. And I would bring back Devontae Adams too. So Aaron Rodgers is over under.
He's staying no matter what. If Aaron Rodgers is there, he's staying.
Yeah. Devontae will go as Aaron goes, unless Aaron retires, but Aaron is not going to retire. And there's really not that many better options.
We didn't talk about Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. Yeah. There's the Rich Cimini said on his podcast that Garrett Wilson might request a trade, according to people in his circle. Garrett Wilson might want out. And then he had that press conference where Antoine Staley asked him, like, do you want to be a Jet long term? Do you want to sign an extension? And he said, I don't know. Which
that was him that asked that.
It was Antoine who asked the question, which I think that people kind of overreacted to that answer because it was taken so out of context. Like he said, basically people took it out of context. Like the guy said, do you want to be a Jet? He said, I don't know. And like they just kind of took the words out of context and ran with it. But if you watch the whole clip of the interview, he basically says like that he's just trying to like take things one day at a time, that he does love the Jets and they're the team that drafted him and took the chance on him and all that jazz, but that he can't be worrying about all that now, which I mean is kind of negotiating 101. Like, I mean, this is a bad example, but you saw how Juan Soto handled things after the World Series, where he said, "Oh, I'm available to all 31 teams. No one's getting a discount." Like, you're not gonna just you're not gonna like offer a discount. That would be it would be insanely stupid for him to really say anything at this point. Yeah. So it would be stupid for him to say anything. Either way, I do think Garrett Wilson will be on the team next year. I think it would be extremely stupid for them to trade him now, even if he does request a trade in the offseason, like Rich Cimini suggests might happen. I don't think you trade him. I don't think you trade him now because I don't want 2025 assets. If I'm getting assets like a draft pick assets, I want 2026 assets. But I think what they should do is they should give it another year. See if things improve. They pick up his 5th-year option, offer him an extension. It's up to him if he wants to take it or not. But you offer him an extension, do what you can to keep him here long term, because Garrett Wilson is someone that the Jets should definitely try to keep. But yeah, you definitely do everything you can to try to keep him first. You pick up the 5th-year option, you offer an extension. Yeah. If he doesn't take the extension and after next year he still wants out, or he wants out even more because things go poorly next year, then okay, we can have that conversation, and hopefully he has another great year, and that way you either extend him and you have him, or you get assets in 2026 draft, which is I think much more valuable than having those assets this year or in 2025. So that's my take on the situation. But I would say it's a pretty good chance he will be he will be a New York Jet in 2025. In my humble opinion. What do you think?
What the fuck just happened? I don't see anything.
You went black for a second.
My screen blacked out. Okay, there. I think, yeah. Okay. So I think this is what we should do. I think we should just fucking sign him
Yeah.
for like
Yeah. Ideally,
5 years.
Ideally you just throw him the bag now.
And this
Money
is what I
definitely
told him.
talks.
All right, this team fucking sucks. And at least if I was the head coach, and be like, okay, we're working on it, trying to get a better. At least sign him cheap. Yeah, I would sign him for like 5 years.
Yeah, like 5 years, $120 million or something like that. Throw in a signing bonus,
This is
make
his like about winning.
Yeah, make it
Sauce
juicy.
ain't going nowhere. And you could like allocate that deal and make it like, because they can pay him like 10 mil next year, and then
make it kick in
it'll
like
just
in like
grow.
the fifth year or something. Yeah, or just pay it all to him in Bitcoin.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. So the Jets should not trade Garrett Wilson this offseason under any circumstances, in my opinion. Now back to our Jets parlay. So Aaron Rodgers is over under for passing on FanDuel. It's 240.5 versus 243.5 on DraftKings. So this will have to be a FanDuel parlay if we're taking the over, because we're getting 3 yards for free, basically. So Aaron Rodgers over 240.5. The spread is the spread is Rams are 3-point favorites. I think I would take the Jets as +3 underdogs at home. I'd consider the money line, but maybe +3 or an alt spread of +3.5 is safer. Yeah, we'll do +3.5 just to
get the Rams are plus. The Rams are +3.
The Rams are -3. The Rams are 3-point favorites. So you take the Jets +3, or you could, or move it to +3.5. That way, if they lose by a field goal, you win.
All
right.
So, I like that better.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Aaron Rodgers over 240.5 passing yards. Jets +3.5.
Devontae Adams anytime touchdown.
Yeah. Aaron and Devontae have been cooking. Should we add anything else? Let's look at some Rams. I want to look at some Rams player props.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Puka Nacua, receiving yards.
Yeah, so I'll put in the Devontae anytime. And then Puka Nacua is his receiving yards over under is Puka is, where is he? He's his receiving yards is 89.5. That's kind of high. I think I like the under.
I do like the under. Yeah, because Sauce and DJ Reed are both playing.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna try to like scrap everything they could just to like play their best.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I was thinking about Kyron Williams. His over-under for rushing is 80.5, which just I kind of just don't want to touch that, actually.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that either. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I feel
also
like
don't.
it'll probably go over too.
Yeah, I also but it's just high. I also don't want to touch Brees Hall's props because like he's like clearly playing injured. He probably just
Hmm.
shouldn't be playing.
He shouldn't. Yeah, he is playing injured.
Yeah. So I mean, let's see. So
Oh,
far,
am I
so far,
paused on the video? I feel like I am. Yeah, I definitely am.
you're speaking clearly, but it's frozen.
Yeah,
Like your picture's frozen.
the videos frozen. Yeah,
Yeah. So
whatever.
far, $10 pays out $85.18, which is really $95.18 with the money that we're betting.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you want to add anything else or leave it at that.
Oh, let's think. I, I'm feeling someone else. What about kicking?
Ooh, okay.
Carlson field goal.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me see what that's looking like. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Will it allow us to add his kicking props to the same game parlay? So I think that kicking props are not parlayable with everything else.
Really? That's
Yeah,
fucked.
it is fucked.
That is so fucked.
I know, right?
Okay. You know what? Let me do some research real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna look too.
Let us have a moment.
Um, as far as touchdown scores go,
Matt
I think you
Stafford,
could.
2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, but he
Mm,
doesn't play good in the cold. I was thinking maybe
yeah,
Kyron Williams anytime.
possibly. What about Will McDonald's sack?
Yeah, let me see.
That's a
Defensive.
stretch.
Yeah, it's hard to it's kind of hard to predict, and I don't even know if they have. It doesn't even look like
Yeah,
they
they
had
probably don't
defensive
have
props up.
that. Trying to think who else. Garrett Wilson, anytime touchdown. Fuck it.
There we go.
What if? Damn. What if fucking? See, I loved the last game because they had all the starting offensive players score a touchdown. Devontae had 2, Garrett had 1, Breeze had 1.
Brief. Yep.
Ooh. What about Aaron Rodgers' rushing yards?
Uh,
That's interesting.
Let me have a look at that. He has been moving around a lot better,
He
and that's what I
has. He
think.
has.
That's what I think makes the whole argument about whether or not to run it back with Rodgers more interesting is the fact that he's been.
Uh-huh.
Because
Mobile.
yeah, like you don't want to overreact to. It doesn't look like they have anything for Aaron Rodgers rushing yards on FanDuel. Because it's like you don't want to overreact to like one good game against the Jaguars, but like if you just look at like the eye test, like he is moving around better,
But
and
if you look at the games
but
where they
also he's
won,
gonna be
he
40.
was mobile.
Yeah, but also like he's gonna be 42, and
Yeah.
so he's gonna be 42. So like I think that staying healthy and keeping that mobility for a full year could be a challenge for him.
How about what if we do like Devontae Adams or Garrett Wilson passing yards? What's that looking like?
Or receiving yards.
Or receiving yards. That's what I meant.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. Let's see. Devontae Adams' receiving yards is 73.5, and Garrett is 60.5.
Oh, I kind of like the Garrett one.
You like
I feel like
Garrett
last
Wilson?
game.
You like Garrett Wilson over?
Because I feel like they're going to be targeting Devontae a lot more.
Yeah, and just to be safe, what we could do instead of doing over 60.5, we could do 60 plus. That way, if he gets exactly 60, we don't get fucked.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and it's not that much of a difference.
I like the way you're thinking.
All right.
Yeah, I could definitely see him getting 60. Watch, first fucking play, he gets a fucking 60-yard bomb for a touchdown.
Yes. All right. So the parlay. Man. Yeah. So we have 6 legs, which is probably more than enough. But yeah, we got Aaron Rodgers over 240.5 passing yards. Jets plus 3.5. Devontae Adams anytime touchdown. Puka Nacua under 89.5 receiving yards. Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown. And Garrett Wilson 60
over 60 yards.
Yeah, 60 plus receiving yards.
So we just need 61 and we're good.
Yeah, or we just need 60 with this.
6. Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah, it's a it's like a safer version. So 10 pays out 260.20, so 20 will pay out 520.40, so we'd each win $260 if this hits. I'm going to lock that in now. And I guess to end the show, we can give our final score predictions for Jets Rams tomorrow.
Jets Rams, yeah.
While I lock this in,
God damn it, Houston is ass.
Yeah, what's the score of that game?
It's 7-3, KC.
Yeah, I just got an alert that the Texans are in the red zone.
They are. They're at the 20. They're at the 15.
Yeah, Tank Dell's actually playing pretty well. I'm glad I started him.
Mm-hmm. Joe Mixon.
Location cannot be verified. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? I would just want the gabagool.
He came in for the gabagool.
Oh, whoa, hey.
Gabagool. Over here. Over here, over there.
Bring it over here.
Gabagool.
Bring it over here.
Over here.
I need the prosciutto and the gabagool over here. Where's the provolone? I need the fresh buffalo mozzarella.
Fresh moots.
All
right. Depositing $20 into FanDuel now. Let's get this shit.
Make money.
All right. Our podcast parlays are locked in.
Locked. Ready to go.
So we will see
both.
Yeah, so we will see how these go. But what do you think? What is your final score prediction for the for Jets Rams before we end?
We're fucking scoring 30 again. I know it. It's gonna be like 32-27.
All right, Jets 32, Rams 27 is what you're saying. I'm going to say I think it's going to be a little lower scoring than that, but I do think the Jets are going to end up winning this game. I think the Jets will win 24-21.
Ooh.
That is my prediction. But yeah, it looks like the Jets are going to win, and looks like we're going to be picking 10th.
No, I don't know. Well, what are we at now? 8?
Yeah, we're at 8 now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at 8 now, and we got.
I don't even know if we'll even move. Really, I don't know if we'd even really move.
Yeah, it kind of seems like we're locked pretty into. Yeah, it kind of seems like we're locked pretty firmly into 8. Like regardless if we win or lose.
That's why I'm like, I don't give a fuck if we pick an 8 or 10 or 12. Like, who the fuck are we getting, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually right now. My agenda for the draft would be whatever pick you get, like trade back and get Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan.
I love him. He's good.
We got love. We got love.
I love that you just said that right now. That is probably the best pick we can make. I want to get 2 fucking tight ends. Fuck it.
Yeah, get him and get Harold Fanning Jr. in the second round.
There you go.
Yeah. But that is
let the fucking head coach Liam Cohen cook.
Yes. Let Liam cook, let Greenberg cook, let the Jets cook, and let's win some goddamn games. Let's score some goddamn points. But that's gonna do it for this episode of All Gas No Break. Thank you all for tuning in. Obviously it's been a tough season filled. We've pretty much had more like, athletic hit pieces than wins, it feels like. But what really matters is that we're still here, we're still doing this, and you're still here listening, to those of you that do. So be sure to tail our parlay, and if you get rich, you're welcome, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Jets, Jets. God damn it, I fucking hate this team.